Hi guys, I'm here to share with you a few projects today, and I'm super excited to share these with you. I am using these projects to use as my entry for Jayzella. She is doing a design team call on her channel, and I know most of you guys have seen it because I've been watching all your entry videos, and there's been some really amazing projects that I've seen. So, but for those of you who haven't seen or heard of it, I will definitely post the video to her design team call below, and make sure you check it out. It's a great opportunity for any of us crafters, and definitely would be a dream come true for any of us, I'm sure. So I was super nervous about trying to do this because that's just the way that I am, I guess. But then I was like, well, you never know unless you try, right? So I decided to give it a try because I like, she wanted us to do projects that represent our style. So I'm usually doing projects for people that, and I do whatever it is that their style and what they would like. So to get opportunity to do the style that I wanted, I was definitely excited about that. So this is the first item that I made, and this is an altered clock, and this is my very first one that I've done. And I tell you, I looked forever to try to find one of these clocks. I went like 3 weekends in a row trying to find one at all different stores around here and stuff, and finally was able to find one. And this one originally had like a cow design on it and like a cow picture in the front on the clock face, and I love black and white, but I'm not feeling the cow print, so that definitely had to go. So what I did was first I think it was 3 coats of gesso on the whole thing. I took the whole thing apart, which took forever because it was all like just intricate inside. I was surprised, but so I took the whole thing apart, like these little pieces, this piece, the glass, these pieces, this, and they all had little screws. So once I got all that taken apart, I painted everything with gesso, and like I said, I did about 3 coats. Once that was dry, I actually wanted to try, I don't know if anybody else does it, but I've never seen it, so I wasn't sure how well it would turn out. But if you see all the pink tone to it, I actually, to do that, I used some dimensional fabric paint, and it looks like this. And what I did was I used one of these cheapo makeup sponges, and I put a little dot, because you don't want to do too much because you'll get dark spots. So I just took a little bit, and it was a little bit time consuming because you have to just do like a little dot at a time, and basically just like sponged it on. But I did leave some spots where you could see the white because I wanted to kind of have a little bit of a distressed look. But I took a while. I got all that done, and this is just what is it called? Strawberry Iridescent, and it's just dimensional fabric paint that I've had in my stash for a while. And I wasn't sure, like I said, how well it would come out, but it came out really cool. So I'm definitely going to have to use that technique again for other projects. So I'm going to bring this closer to kind of show you guys. So if you can see, like, well, I'll show you. The whole thing, once I got the dimensional paint on, I went over it with some stickles, and I just, put some on there and just used my finger to move it around, because I wanted some sparkle, because you guys know I like when things sparkle. So I did the whole thing like that, and just, I would put some on and move it with my finger because I didn't want it too thick. So I would make sure I got a nice thin even coat all around it. Then I let that dry, and then on top of that was I just took my little makeup sponge again, and I used my Tim Holtz Distress ink, the black soot. Dipped it in there and just a little bit, just hints here and there, like you could see it right here. Just sponged it, just a little bit here and there, just to get more of a distressed look and to get some more black tone on there. So once all that was done, I had to get it all back together, and it was kind of a pain, but it finally got together, and then I just started with the decorating. So I don't know if I mentioned it, but I used the Prima Lyric paper, which I've been dying to use because it's like my favorite from the new releases. So I decided to go with that because I love black, that's my favorite color, and pink, which I love with black, and it has a lot of black and pink in it. So I've been dying to use that, and that's what I did on this. So I actually started on the inside first before I decorated the outside, because you know, you have to get the back and stuff on before you can start doing the outside. So part of the inside of the clock, if you can see the background right there, I'm sorry for the glare, I covered it with a piece of the paper, and then on the inside, if you can see, I just started adding flowers, and this, I'll show you. I bought one of these, and this is from Michael's, and I really liked the pinks and the crystals, so I decided to use this, and I just started cutting it apart. And this is actually the last project I did in this set, but I just decided to share this one first. So if you can see in there, there's a few of them, and I just kind of bent them so they would curve. And then this little chandelier piece is from the paper. I just cut it out, and I made it look like it was hanging from one of the vines. You can see that. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then inside I added a bunch of flowers. And all the trims I used, of course, are from Gisela's shop. I've bought from her, I won a giveaway from her, and I did a swap with her. So I have a whole box in my craft room of all Gisela goodies. So of course I wanted to use the blacks, and I have a hard time finding black. Just, I don't know, it seems to be like scarce. So I kind of have been hoarding the ones that she gave me, but I know I needed to use them because they would be perfect. So along the bottom right here on the inside, there was a scalloped black lace that she had gave me. I'm not sure, like all my stuff is put together, so I don't remember what I bought, what I won, and what she gave me in our swap. So it's all just mixed together. And this was the last piece of it that I had, so I don't have any to show you like in my hand. So you can see I just took it and I gathered it, and it goes along the bottom right like this. And then if you can see up here behind, there's some more black lace, and that one actually looks like this. Super gorgeous. It's super pretty, right? So I took some of this, and then along the top half I gathered it because I wanted to get some more black into the inside. So it goes like this, and I just gathered it. And then these two giant crystals, like there's one right here and there's one right here. These are also from Gisela, and they look like this. I used the two clear ones that I had, but she has different colors. There's, like right here, there's green, there's a light blue and a dark blue. And they're super gorgeous, and they're big, and you can just do so much with those. So I took the two clear ones that I had and added them in there because I love just the way they look and the shine that they give off. And then once I got all the inside done, I glued the back on. I had to make a new back out of chipboard because the other one just, it wouldn't fit anymore, and it was kind of messed up from having to take it apart. So I just used some chipboard. I traced the circle, cut it out, covered it with the paper. I used this fancy trim just to give it a clean edge, and this black on black mesh bling to just give it some more black color to it. And then like on the side, I used some of the paper and I just cut it. I measured, on my cutter I cut out 2-inch strips, and I used the 6x6 pad. So I used like a little bit over 2 strips of it. So I just cut that out. I glued it on, and I actually did this piece before I put it together because I needed to like use the holes and stuff. So that actually I did that before I started the other stuff. So on top of that, I just added some more of this same black on black mesh bling around the whole thing. And then like right here and right here was the seam of the paper where I had to connect the 2 pieces, and I didn't want to have to see that because it just didn't look finished. So what I did was took some of the paper that's from the stack, it looks like black lace, and I punched 2 flowers out of that and then just covered it up to where the line would be covered of the seam, and then added this little black bow that's from Michael's. So I did that there and there, and I still have some of those glue spider web things. Those things are just everywhere. There's like a billion of them. I'm just messy with glue, but so that's what I did for the middle part. And then for this part right here, what I did was let's see, where's my little piece at? I used this right here that Jayzilla has in her shop, and this is like one of my favorites. This is just a little piece of it to show you guys. Super cute. So I went around it with that, like this, just went around the whole circle. And then on the inside part, I just did some more of the black mesh bling because I love it. And it just gives it a subtle shine. So I went around the whole thing with that. And then around the 2 bell parts at the top, I used this really light pink mesh bling. And then on the front, I put another one of the vines that I had cut along here and made my own little spray with flowers and some acrylic flowers, and this butterfly are from the Lyric collection. And then I just added this other little acrylic butterfly. And then like here and that one right there are just these little things. They're actually from a necklace I took apart, and as you can see, they're really white, so I wanted to tone down the brightness. So all I did was I used a little bit more of this paint right here on my little makeup sponge, just dabbed a little bit at a time, and it dried pretty quick, so it was easy to do on both of them, so just tone it down. So that's what I did there. And then right here, this is some more lace from Jayzilla, and that one actually comes like this. If you can see, there's like the scallop part and there's this extra part. So for this part, I just wanted this part, like where the scallop is. So I just cut this, and don't throw your scraps away, you guys, because like this other piece that, you know, maybe someone might be like, oh, I don't need that part, save it, because this is what it looked like when I cut it apart. Like this was the piece that was left over, and I just took a piece of it and made a little bow out of it, and I put it right here, see, and it's just like perfect, the perfect little bow. And I just added another little pink acrylic flower on top of that, and it's like so cute. So make sure you save all your little scraps, because you never know when you're going to be able to use them. And then around this bell right here, I added this little tiny black pearl strand, and it looks like this. And I also got this from Jayzilla. So and it's super tiny and super cute, and she has a bunch of different colors. Like she sent me the black one, and she also sent me the pink one. So be sure, you know, to check out her shop, because she has different colors, and you never know, like they just add like the perfect little touch to your stuff. So I did a few passes around the top with the little black, and then on top of that I just cut out this little paper butterfly from the stack. And then you'll see when I show you my other projects, and I can't believe I'm taking so long to do this. You'll see I wanted everything to coordinate, and there's a little bit of the same things on everything. So that's the clock that I did. I'm going to try to go a little bit faster for you guys. So another thing that I did was I made this little altered canvas. And this originally was just one of these Michaels ones. And this is 5 by 7. And they just look like that. So what I did was I used some of the paper, this paper right here that I really like. I put that down first, just started adding pieces. I used some more of the vines, and I made my own like flower, my own vines, I guess, because like I said, they originally just were like this. So I added a bunch of flowers because I love flowers, and these flowers right here, they're pink with gold. I got those from Gisela. Super gorgeous. I've been hoarding them, but I decided to use them on this. And then the same piece that I had made my my bows out of is the same lace right here, so you can see there's so many different uses for it. And again, that one, it just looked like this. So I put that down, and then I just started adding on my embellishments. This piece right here, it says friend. I cut that out from the paper. This little banner is from the paper. This is from the paper. And then see how like this is another, like I did in the clock, and I made it look like it was hanging from a branch. I also did that on here, so I made sure it came long enough to where the chandelier would hang down. It looks like it's just hanging off the branch. And so I popped it up on some foam so it stuck out some to give it that effect that it's hanging. There's 2 butterflies from the collection, and this is the same butterfly that I put right there. Cut that out from the paper. All these pieces I use my black soot on, and on this one I use a little bit of the cotton candy, spun sugar. I inked that up, and then I went around the edges with the black soot, and I just used my little makeup sponge. And I did this one too because I didn't want the brightness of the white, so that's what I did there. And like around the sides, I added this fancy trim underneath, and then on top of that is this black lace. And like I said, it looks just like this, and that's from her shop. And it's also the same one that I went around right here with. I went around that. That's what this looks like before you put I put the mesh bling on it. So it looks just like that. So that's the little canvas that I did, and I really like the way it turned out. I think it's really, really cute. So that was the 3rd project that I did. And this the second one that I did. It's very simple, but it's super gorgeous. I think so. So it looks like this, and it's just a pincushion. And I actually made this from a can of cat food, because I'm a big believer in using what you have. Like, I have mentioned it before, but I definitely have to, you know, do my crafting on a budget. So I just hope like those of you out there who are in my same situation can pick up some ideas that I have and use them for yourself. Like with the cat food can, for example, I feed my cat every day, so I have all these cans I'm throwing away, and I wanted to figure out something to do that I could reuse them. I mean, they're clean, you know, I wash them, let them dry, wash them, let them dry, and then I wash them a 3rd time and let them dry, so they're nice and clean. And so what I did here was I took the can and I cut some paper from the paper stack, did it around the can part. And this, see how I said this had the scallop lace? This is the same lace that was in the bottom of the clock. It looks like this, and this is, I didn't have any more left, so I can't show it to you guys. But I went around with that. It's super gorgeous lace. I love it. So I'm not sure if she still has some in her shop, but she might, so make sure you check it out. And so I went around with that lace, and then around the top part, I had to, this was just a flat lace, and I just, pleated it myself, and this one is just so versatile because like I used it here, made a ruffled lace. I used it here to make my bow. And again, that one just looked like this. See, super gorgeous. I love this one. This is like my very last piece of it too. But it's so pretty and you just can do so much with it. So I took it and I pleated it and I put it around the top. And then I added this, I just call it square mesh bling around here. And it's the same one I used on the clock right here. Like I said, I wanted everything to coordinate together. And then on the front, this is just a butterfly from the collection. And this underneath is a petal from Recollections. And these little pieces are from a, let me see if I can get this. This right here I bought from Michael's. And it was like $2 and you get all these pieces. So I took 2 pieces off and then added that and then just added the butterfly to the top. And so then I made these stick pins and I used one of the butterflies for the top of this one. Super pretty. I love making pin cushions and stick pins. There's just easy and there's so much you can do. So I made this. Her beautiful, beautiful lace that I love. It's so pretty. So there's that. And then the very first thing that I had made was I started working on this little shadow box right here. And this is actually a box that some flowers had came in. And right away I seen the shape and I was like, oh my gosh, I could totally do something with that. So of course I wanted to recycle it. So I made this little shadow box and it's kind of like the canvas, but you can see there's like inside, you know, whatever you could, I don't know what you call it, like the 3D or whatever, I don't know. So I did this, the box was yellow, and so I just covered it with the paper, and then like here around the front, I wanted to tone it down again, so I just got my little paint right here, got my little handy sponge, and just you know, did that around the front. So then after that I just started doing my decorations. This is a Prima spray and I just cut that apart and put it right here, put some in the middle. I cut these 2 little butterflies out with a paper that had the music notes on it because I wanted it to coordinate, and that's this paper that's in the background right here. Super pretty. So I cut 2 little butterflies. There's one here and there's one right there. Cut this little banner piece out from the paper, and you can see like here's this piece which is also on this piece. And then this little, back in here, there's this little black metal flower, and that's the same one that's right here, but it's just the black one. And the necklace that I took apart had 3 white ones and 1 black one, so I used 2 of the white ones and 1 of the black ones, and I have 1 left to use on something else. So that's this. And then around here what I had done was I had this little thin lace that Gisela sent me, and I don't have any more of it to show you a piece of it, so sorry about that, but I used it all on here, and I just went around the whole thing with it, and then went over it with some more of that black on black mesh bling, which is on the clock. So it looks like that, and then on the front I went around it with some flat back pearls, and then see, I had inked this one up too, and this is just like the one that's on the canvas. That's right there. And then on the back, because you know I at least always have to finish my stuff off, whether it's the bottom or it's the back. Just added some of the paper, and this is the same one that's on the back of the clock, and I just went around it with some black mesh bling, not mesh bling, some flat back pearl, sorry. Added this flower in the middle that I got from Connie. Thank you, Connie. And then there's just some flowers inside, and I just think it's super cute. I loved working with this collection. It was very inspiring. I had made a very simple card that's going to go along with this stuff, and it just looks like this. So I just took a piece of the paper, put another little, made my own little spray on it, the flowers and the butterfly. Then I just added some bling to it, and it's just on one of those corrugated cards. It's not all the way finished yet. I still need to do the inside. So that's just a simple card that matches. That's going to go along with it. And just so you guys know, like, this is my style. So, you know, I use stuff that, you know, that I like with the black, for example. But make sure you check out Jayzella's shop, because whatever your style is, whatever colors you like, she'll have it. Like, for example, this is the pincushion I made. That was my style. I'm also working on one that's for somebody else, that colors I don't normally, you know, they're not my favorite, but, you know, it's for someone that their favorite color happens to be yellow. I mean, this isn't finished. This is just a work in progress. This is the same, working with the, I know the bottom's not done, but you can see it's just a can. So, but I wanted to share this with you because, you know, whatever your style is or whatever colors you like, make sure you check out her shop, because she'll most likely have it. So, with this one, I just lined my can with some yellow paper. And then at the top, there's this beautiful white lace. And all these came from her shop, like I said, too. So that one looks just like this. Super pretty. And then along the bottom, I lined it with this lace. And that one looks like this. Super, super gorgeous. Love it, love it. And these two, you can, you know, dye if you want them to, or to match any, whatever project you're doing, whatever color you need. So that one is this one right here. And then for my own stash, I just used some flat back pearls and this little trim right here that's from Michaels. And then on the front here, there's this tiny rosette flower, and this is also from Jayzella, and it just looked like this. So all I did was took one off, put it on here, and I need to finish this, and I still got to make the stick pins and finish the bottom. But I just wanted to show you, like, whatever your style is, whatever colors you like, she has, whatever you need. So that's just why I wanted to show you this, because that's not my colors or whatever. And also, I didn't really use any on my projects, but she has tons of amazing, amazing rosette trim that I love. So real quick, I wanted to share with you, I made a few rosette flowers that everyone's been making. And these are all using flowers from her store. So I did mine a little bit different. Like, I did the bottom layer like everybody does, but instead of putting another layer, I just put a rosette, one of the rosettes on the top, because I didn't want mine as bulky as they are, because it would have been like this big, but I wasn't going for that look. So I just added a flower, one of the flowers on top, and I made this little center right here. It's kind of, the color is a little bit weird on my camera, but they're super cute, and they're just, oh my gosh, you can't get it. And they're so easy to do too. So here's another one that I did. See, it's very simple. All these beautiful rosette trims, like I said, are in her shop. So gorgeous. And so I also did this one, and I have a lot of little glue webs still, but there's, so whatever color you like, whatever style, you know, she'll have it. So, like, you know, I'm not a big fan of blue, but look at this, is super cute, and it's blue, so I like it. And on this one, I just added some pearls as the center. Super cute and shabby. And then there's this one. This one I did a little bit different. I used a Recollections petal instead of a rosette. And I had made this flower center. So there's that one. And then there's this one. Super cute. These are the ones I call her Twilight flowers, because that's what it reminds me of. They're so cute. And so on this one, I just, you know, I did the bottom layer, added the rosette, and made this little center with the ribbon buckle and a black flat back pearl. And then the last one I did looks like this. Super pretty. So this is her rosette trim, and one of her rosettes just full. And then I just used this vintage style button that I had in my stash. Super cute. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. And again, Jayzella, thank you so much just for the opportunity to even try out for your design team, because Your shop is amazing, and I know I always say in my videos how much I love your stuff, and I know you're gonna have a hard time picking, you know, your design team, because I've seen a lot of the projects and they're amazing. And I just want to say again, good luck to everybody who is trying out. Your projects are awesome. So I think there's a few more videos I still want to watch, just because I think, I don't know, I just love watching the stuff that people can do. So yeah, so I hope you guys like my stuff that represents my style, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great Monday and a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you guys soon on my next video. Okay, you guys, thanks for watching. Bye.